Your boy sent me to Mexico? No, I didn't. I didn't do that. I'm rightfully claiming Sagos for my next Czech and Slavic team. Okay. Making sure the audio's okay. Sent me to Mexico? No, why? Okay, we're good. I'll let people gather briefly. You can take a look at the bracket while I do. I need to grab a sody. I'm getting sleepy. Hey, sleepy boy. All right, I'm back. No, Kukinko! Why is Kukinko mad at us? What happened? Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Is everyone here? Did everybody gather from the other streams? We have been leaking the streams back to back, so people in Vaudeville, the video on demand area, can figure out what's going on. They can watch these one at a time, as they ought to. But for my friends in the live department, you get to hear how this works again. Hello, welcome to the World Cup 2025 for Warhammer, where you gathered up a bunch of teams. We held an open invite to anybody who could gather 4 other friends, make a team of 5, choose a country to fight for, and sign up. We had 21 people sign up, which means 105 people sign up for this tournament. Today we'll be streaming Mexico versus Czechia, Czech Republic. Don't know. In English, there's a lot of names floating around for that country. I will do my best to appease them as they wish to be called, but if I fuck up, I'm doing best. Right. We have a best of 5 between these two teams. Each team global banned a faction coming into the tournament before they knew who their opponent was. That means neither they nor their opponent can play this faction. Tomb Kings and Empire are banned between these two teams. That leaves up Dwarves, Demons of Chaos, Ogre Kingdoms. The 3 strongest factions in this patch are all available. Probably be seeing some of them. Mexico on the left is my personal favorite to win this tournament. I think they are the strongest team in my personal power rankings, so we will get to see them today. Sagos, the green one, Sexy Boy, Gentle Rat, and Butcher Bird. On the other side, fighting them is Raced, Scarbranchan, Ulti, Kukingo, and the Verco. All 5 games will be played no matter what. You will notice I'm not using a blocker. That's because whether it's 3-0 or 1 and 2 at a certain point, that doesn't mean the stream is over, so it doesn't really matter. There are no spoilers. You'll see there are 5 replays. We'll watch all 5. Right. You can call you Bohemians. Did that read Scarbranchan before? Yeah, Scarbranchan's on their team. Okay. I had to pull up my game, so that's why you saw that for a second. So first game is Sagos versus Raced. Sagos is a very, very good player. Raced is weird. Raced is a weird dude. He's I didn't mean to pull that back up. I meant to grab this. Raced is sometimes very, very good, and other times he's flat out trolling. I can't tell. Race has the capacity to be a good player. You never quite know what race you're gonna get. So if Race is playing at top form, I think Sagos is favored, but it won't be easy. I think if Race is trolling, then Sagos is gonna dominate it. But good Race is pretty darn good. All right, let's see who sent me the most replays. Mexico. Cool. So then I will just do Mexico on the left for all 5 games. Mexico. And then we'll do other guys. Not 0.0, just 0. All right, game 1. Get our first vampire counts of the day. Sorry, coast. Vampire coast of the day versus the Ogre Kingdoms in an interesting build. Double Stonehorn Harpoon Launcher with a Thunder Tusk trying to kite out the vampire coast. How many of the players are actually Mexican, though? Don't know. Don't care. Okay. On the Vampire Coast side, for Segos, front line of 5 basic deckhand mobs. 4 handgunners, 5 handgunners backing them up, 1 hand cannon, Night Terrors and Animated Hulks, the Lamper's Revenge, and then double Carronade with Celestra Deerfawn, Crab Summon, Ghost Summon, plus Tide Call. Try and stop the Ogres with their mass. On the other side, for the Ogres, we have 2 Stonehorn Harpoon Launchers, a Thunder Tusk, double Blood Vulture, 4 Nobblar Trappers, 3 Piggyback Riders, and a Slaughtermaster the Great Maw with only Troll Guts. The Ogres are going to try and Harpoon Kite, which is odd, but I get it. I mean, if the Harpoon Launchers can kill the Carronades, then the coast has no range to stop the Thunder Tusk and the Harpoon Launchers from just kiting them the rest of the way. On paper, I get what Raced is going for. Raced being the Ogres player here. I'm just curious how it'll work out. As the Carronades are dividing their fire, don't want to give one easy Troll Guts target, I guess, but also just making the Stonehorns... Oh, okay, I get it. He's trying to make him dodge with 2 different things at once, rather than focus fire one thing that can just easily dodge. So our Harpoon Launcher is going to fire at the cannons. I'm curious how much damage it actually does to the Carronade models, because that'll determine if this strategy is going to work or not. So far, nothing too crazy. The Carronades are slowly poking down the Stonehorns. They'll get their damage out, slowly but surely. Blood Vultures try and move in, but the Handgunner is going to make that very, very difficult. Blood Vultures have crazy high stats, and they are very good, but they also do rely on getting a lot of kills or being nearby when a lot of things die to get that leadership and melee attack up. So on the initial charge, they're not super impressive, and especially their leadership is pretty easy to deal with, as Night Terrors and Handgunners are going to take them out. Race was trying to suicide dive to take out the Carronades and buy the Stonehorns more kiting space, but it didn't quite work out, especially Segos just positioning the Lamper's Revenge right here. That would have physically blocked the charge because the crab bodies are a little taller than the zombies, but also their shotguns, 360 firing, got rid of the Blood Vulture super easily, and all the flying units of Race are taken offline. The Carronades are currently whooping the Stonehorn Harpoon Launcher's ass, so it does appear the Vampire Coast has the better tools for the moment. We've lost 1 cannon model total, 3 here, 4 here. Nobblar Trappers are moving up to start firing at the coast, but I think they'll win the fight against the handguns 1v1. We do have Tide Calls from Celestra. We have deckhand mobs that can run up and disrupt a little bit. Nobblars are pretty cowardly as far as things go, but the Carronades are currently kicking the Stonehorns' ass. Stonehorns have to get a Overcast Troll Guts already to heal them back up. Cool. Cool. Handgun mob trying to reform lines after a Thunder Tusk got a little volley onto it, but this coast build doesn't care at all about the Thunder Tusk, honestly. It's like, cool, kill my zombies. Kill my 500 gold zombies with your giant snowballs. Whatever. I'll kill your Nobblar Trappers. We'll shoot our cannons at your Stonehorns. We'll do great. And this is a little deceptive. If you're paying attention, the Troll Guts healed a ton of damage on the Stonehorn, but its healing cap is probably right around the corner. So the cannons have actually been doing very well versus the Stonehorns. This Carronade has lost 2 models, the other one has 4, so it's 6 out of 8 Carronades still firing, as the Stonehorns have lost a lot of HP. But if the Stonehorns do get healed, then they're still at 1 out of 1, so I guess their DPS isn't falling at all, as handgunners move in range. And this is actually staying a little too close in range. You're about to take a volley from those handguns. It won't do crazy damage and instantly delete you, but in a game of trading as little value as possible versus as little value as possible, taking a volley like that is going to be pretty brutal. As Segos is just pushing out, making sure the carronades can keep firing at the Stonehorns, but also using the handgunners to get poke out here and there. They only have 250 range. The cannons have 450 range. Yeah, that's okay. That's a huge range disparity. So he's pushing the Stonehorns out of range of counter-firing the cannons with his handgunners and making sure that he doesn't keep losing cannon models, because he is down to 1 cannon model over there, 4 over here. And now the cannons have turned onto the Thunder Tusk because the Lamper's Revenge go hunting. Seriously? Lamper's Revenge going all the way out here to track the Stonehorn down. Stonehorn's trying to shoot at them, kite them out a bit, but they're now in shotgun range, so they should be firing shotguns at this thing's face. That's almost 1,000 HP off of it as it runs. And they do have Firewall moving, so they can keep chasing this thing down, but Race doesn't seem to know that this is happening on the high ground, so he hasn't retreated just yet. That could be a disaster. Speaking of a disaster, what the hell happened to the Thunder Tusk? All the handgunners got in range somehow, and the cannons, and he just gets blitzed. Oh no. Thunder Tusk very low, might even die or shatter. Stonehorn is trying to retreat now from Lamper's Revenge, and it's going to get shot in the back as it retreats. Yeah, the Thunder Tusk shatters, and that's probably GG for the Ogres. Carronades are still the worst cannons. Yeah, they are. Empire and Grand Cathay cannons are better, but they're cannons. They're unbreakable because they're undead. They're cheaper than the other ones. It makes sense. I wish they were a little better in general, yes, but I do think the Empire and the Empire and Grand Cathay should be better with cannons than the Vampire Coast. I think the Vampire Coast cannons are uniquely too weak. It should go Dwarf, Grand Cathay, Empire, Vampire Coast as far as cannon strength. Race build was creative. He tried. But those Stonehorns having 200 less range than the cannons really fucked them over. I think he was counting on the coast not having any cannons. I think he was hoping they would suspect a full Ogre rush and go with like a halberd box or something, and he could just kite it out. But Thunder Tusk getting blitzed, see what we did there. I'm pretty sneaky. Game 1 to Segos. Could take you over to my desktop. Pull this up, grab Segos' name, do this, give him a point, bam, bam. Then we have the green one versus Scarbrand. There we go. All right, we're into game 2. The green one on his beloved Norsca. He was a little mad at me for not giving him one of the invite slots to the faction war for Norsca, and reliably so. How much are carronades again? Only 750. So for Norsca versus Khorne, Marauder Horsemen and Marauder Horsemasters, a Skinwolf Werekin, then more Skinwolves. These ones are armored. Some are not. Maws of Savagery, Frontline Marauders, Wolfric the Wanderer, and a Plague of Rust and Fonfrance Caster. On the other side for... What the hell is that noise? I hate it. Recently there's just been this audio triggering over and over again where it goes shing really loud in my ears, and I just despise it. On the other side for Khorne, we have Karanak, an Exalted Bloodthirster, then the Bloodwake Berserkers, Forsaken of Khorne, Flesh Hounds, more Forsaken, some Chaos Furies, and the Hounds of the Blood Hunt. So it's a full rush from Khorne. No Skull Cannon shenanigans. Exalted Bloodthirster lands on Skinwolf Werekin, who had been netted by Karanak, so he's already down to below half HP, and he's going to rout. It's that stupid loud shing shing sound. Another Norsca pick, and people say they are weak. It's true. I think they're very limited, but in their matchups where they're good, they can be very good. Maws of Savagery trying to get a flank on Karanak as the Bloodwake Berserkers march forward. These guys have fire damage and armor thundering and magic damage. Holy crap, they are perfect versus Skinwolves. Fuck your physical resistance, shredding your armor, and you're weak to fire. Damn, Bloodwake Berserkers are going to be difficult for these Skinwolves to deal with. They'll have to get Skirmish Cap to deal with it, most likely. Skirmish Cap just firing at them over and over again. Khorne and the Bloodthirster still trying to snipe out the Skinwolf Werekin, who just wants to live. He just wants to live his best life. Run around a prairie somewhere, kill sheep. In the right hands, Norse can be deadly. Yeah. I think the worst factions doesn't mean they're terrible. Like, they're just not as good as the other faction. Chaos Dwarves can do okay in certain matchups. Vampire Counts can do okay in certain matchups. Norsca can do okay in certain matchups. I think they just need a little more effort. Like, if you compare Norsca or the Vampire Counts to, like, Ogre Kingdoms or Dwarves, you're playing at such a handicap. Doesn't mean you can't win. Wolfric's trying to charge back in. Maybe he doesn't want to fight the Exalted Bloodthirster straight up, though, as his Marauders are all routing. His Skinwolves are about to leave, too, so he does back off. He's like, wait, this isn't the best fight for me. Yeah. Fleshhound's getting Demonic Instability crumbled. It looks like another one is about to suffer the same fate as Skinwolves get a side charge onto it. Skinwolves are quite good against Fleshhounds. They're anti-large, quite powerful. Fleshhounds don't have armor piercing either, so especially the armored Skinwolves will do fine. Skirmish Cav of green one staying alive, kiting out these Fleshhounds of Khorne. And another boat down the side hits 2 Forsaken. Doesn't do as much damage as the second one, but still does a little bit as Marauders punch back. This Skinwolf Werekin, despite taking so much damage so early on, I don't think he's actually routed once. I think he maybe terror routed earlier. Maybe. He has ITP, but isn't that just from Frenzy? I don't know. Khorne's in, trying to chase. Bloodwick Berserkers and the Fleshhounds also chasing these guys, but Green One's just drawing them out as best he can. But Wolfric gets netted by Khorne. That should lock him in place for the Exalted Bloodthirster to get a charge down. He does pop his buffs, Bloodthirst and Deathbringer. And now the Bloodwick Berserkers are surrounding this area too. Wolfric is going to get sniped out. It looks like Skirmish Cap's still running the Fleshhounds around the edge of the map, but they're running out of places to run to. Maybe they can get down here. Maybe they can get to safety. Big Final Transmutation out from Norsca as they try and send everything to the Exalted Bloodthirster to save Wolfric. And Wolfric's taking damage, but he's not quite dead yet. And meanwhile, Khorne is getting slammed. Just absolutely bodied by the Skinwolf Werekin and the Maws of Savagery, who are now stuck fighting the Bloodwick Berserkers. And this is what we're worried about. Bloodwick Berserkers are just limping after these guys, but if they ever get a fight, they slap the Maws of Savagery around with their little maces. Just slap, slap, slap. Wolfric's getting chased by Khorne. He is routing, so he can't fight back. Khorne's very, very low, and the Skirmish Cav are doing their best to get what damage out they can, but some of them are getting caught, some of them are running out of ammo. The Metalcaster is still safe. Maws of Savagery route, Skinwolf Werekin. Heal cap is in sight. I am shocked he has hung on to his leadership as long as he has this game, but he is doing well. And Norsca is bringing up the rear, following the Khorne infantry around. We still have one Skinwolf, armored Skinwolf. Yeah. That's full HP. Who knows where their healing cap is, but for now they're full HP. Khorne's about to die, and Khorne's the only thing chasing off Wolfric, so Norsca will successfully peel and save Wolfric here. Khorne gets one last diving hit onto him, but not enough. Khorne's gonna die. Wolfric should rally, but Khorne gets another shot. Is that enough damage to make sure Wolfric doesn't come back? He's close to the edge of the map, -3 leadership. The Exalted Bloodthirster is also on his tail. And it looks like they're just going for a play to kill Wolfric, lower the leadership of Norsca enough. But one leadership, he is positive, and he is faster than the Exalted Bloodthirster. No, 107 speed, and he's flying. He should be able to catch up. Yes, Norsca is going off the edge of the map. This is where it gets scary. You lose your leadership. Obviously, that's spooky, but you have to deal with the Bloodwick Berserkers while a flying Exalted Bloodthirster can charge whoever he wants, and you're mostly forced to deal with the Bloodwick Berserkers. Skirmish Cap still have a bit of ammo. 4 or 5 volleys, 6 on one of them, but it's currently run away. Is that enough to kill the Bloodwick Berserkers? The Skinwolves can't do it in melee. They absolutely can't, even the armored ones. I mean, Bloodwick Berserkers, just insane balls of stats. Skirmish Cav actually get good volleys onto him, though. I kind of figured with the smaller model count that a lot of those javelins might miss, but looks like they're getting good. Sorry, Glorious Dust Bunny. Wolfric is the best shit talker. That's his lore. That's all he does. Skinwolf. Oh, 2 big hits in a row. That was a double attack. As the Exalted Bloodthirster just deletes him from the game. Takes the source code. Gets rid of him. Hounds of the Blood Hunt are healing up whenever they're in melee, right? Yes, they heal when they're in melee. So I think that's smart. That's really smart. He leaves the Hounds to chase off the Skinwolf just so they can constantly heal. He doesn't actually want to kill the Skinwolf super fast. He wants to heal. Because he's trying to get these Marauder Horsemasters and Horsemen to use the last of their ammo on things that aren't the Bloodwick Berserkers. So he knows that this is going to go to a late game situation. Skinwolves charge and isolated Forsaken of Khorne, but that Forsaken of Khorne also do fire damage. Very good against the Skinwolves. Nice rear charge in from the Exalted Bloodthirster. And the green one is using his ammo as best he can. He's also trying to regenerate with his Skinwolves, so both sides getting what healing they can for a late game they know is coming. Bounce power is 50-50. Green one's running out of ammo. Still has 5 shots left on this Marauder Horseman. It's just a Horseman, it's not even a Horsemaster, so the damage isn't that insane. Skinwolves counter-charge in, but they're charging into fire damage Forsaken, fire damage Exalted Bloodthirster. But he's got to use him all he can. Big damage out from this guy. Whenever he swings, he just does so much damage, and Khorne pulls further ahead on the bounce of power. Skirmish Cav charging back in. Terror out from these guys? That seems like a weird amount of leadership to terror out at, but okay. But alright, you do you. Hounds of the Blood Hunt trying to find the armored Skinwolves. They do find them. They were trying to get them while they're still routing, but it looks like they should route them on the charge. Took a lot of damage from the Skinwolves in return, but again, as long as they're chasing them, they'll regenerate up, but those guys already shattered, so it's whether you want to chase them for the regen, not for the time. Because for the time, they're shattered. You don't need to do that. Still have a Metal Caster. If he has Final Trans, this is a great time for it, and there it is, actually. Beautiful Final Transmutation. It'll do a lot more damage to the Bloodwake Berserkers than you'd expect, and it's Overcast, too. That might be a game-winning Final Trans, unless the Bloodthirster can take it away, because it's currently damaging the Bloodwake Berserkers quite a lot. These guys only have 32 models, so it is pretty effective against them. He does get away. Still a very good Final Trans cast. Liked that a lot, and the Hounds of the Blood Hunt are still out here. Skirmish Cav running low on HP and ammo. Skinwolves running low on HP. And their leadership isn't looking too good. Khorne is also very low on HP, but I believe in their leadership more. One, because their lord is still alive, but also because Khorne is just a bit braver than Norsca is. Bloodthirster is back in. 3 volleys left from the Marauder Horsemen, all aiming at that Exalted Bloodthirster as the Hounds of the Blood Hunt heal up while fighting the Skinwolves. Removes magical attacks. I guess that matters, he said jokingly, versus Skinwolves. As other Skinwolves charge back into the Bloodwake Berserkers, currently saturated in Forsaken, trying to keep themselves safe from those charges. But they finally get the fight with the Skinwolves. If their leadership can hold, this is the fight for them, where they just hit the Skinwolves on all sides, where the Exalted Bloodthirster comes in. Final couple volleys from the Marauder Horsemen, trying to help out, but a big spooky Bloodthirster just landed in the middle of you, and these Marauders are going to terror out soon, leaving the Skinwolves and the Skirmish Cav all on their own. But the Hounds of the Blood Hunt are demonic instability crumbling as well. They're healing, and not enough to help them as they get surrounded and circle beaten down. Khorne is a little behind on the balance of power. Relentless Rage is out for the Forsaken of Khorne to make sure they don't rout and leave the Bloodwake Berserkers and the Bloodthirster behind. But there they go. They're routing now. Speaking of routing, so is some of Norsca and Marauder Horsemen, using their last couple volleys to obey the attacking rule, while Norsca wants to back off and reset their charges. Once that ammo's out, they're going to have to stay in melee with at least something. You know, charge them with something else as that thing leaves, but there'll always be someone for the Bloodwake Berserkers and this Bloodthirster to fight. Norsca is rallying. They have speed and healing on their side, so really it is in their interest to not take any fight that is unfavored. As long as they're killing something, they can chase off these Forsaken for quite a while. But the Exalted Bloodthirster looks like he is not going to let that happen. Wants to land on the Sorcerer of Metal, take out the last leadership source for Norsca. He does provide Encourage when he's nearby, so the Sorcerer is not nothing. Another nice Final Transmutation is going to force the Bloodthirster to not come to the aid of the Bloodwake Berserkers, lest he 2-for-1 Final Trans. It's an undercast, not an overcast, but it's still good damage, and it forces him to not aid in this fight. Norsca's pulling further ahead on the balance of power. Can they hold it together? But their leadership bars are blinking pretty badly. So these Marauder Horsemasters and Horsemen are not long for this world. Skinwolves, we've seen how quickly the Bloodthirster can do insane damage to them, but it just depends. He's also not looking too great, like 1500 HP as he gets burst down by these Skinwolves, but he's about to tear out them away. There they go. Other Skinwolves are trying to rout him in the back, and there goes Plague of Rust. 45 armor for this big guy. Bloodthirst trying to get him out of there, but you can't outrun those Skinwolves. Honestly, you just have to stay and fight as much as it sucks, but maybe he can get up in the sky. No, there's one still touching his butt. So he's stuck on the ground. He's not going to turn and fight, so he's just going to take a bunch of damage, and Marauder Horsemasters charge him from the front. Plague of Rust still lowering his armor, and Demonic Instability will take him out. It looks like Khorne is probably going to lose, because without the Bloodthirster as a constant threat, the Bloodwake Berserkers can just get cycle charged. Army losses is even going to hit, and that was a very, very close game. For green one, Wolfric was just around. I mean, he got sniped out pretty badly by Karanak's net. Skinwolf, he didn't get a lot of value, but he was tanky, and he hung around forever. Found Transcaster did great. Marauders did their jobs. The Skirmish Cav did very well, and the Skinwolves did what they needed to as well. On the other side for Scarbrand, Is Exalted Bloodthirster 3,200 value? Nothing to scoff at for a lord we don't get to see often. The Forsaken did very well. The Bloodwake Berserkers did very well. Skin Wolves, Flesh Hounds, and the Chaos Furies didn't get too much done. The Hounds of the Blood Hunt did great. The values are going to be a little inflated on the Norsca, on the Khorne side, though, because of how much the Skin Wolves were healing and the Skin Flerken were healing, so they got a lot of extra health they had to churn through. Little inflated values, but still did very nicely. Very, very nicely. Mexico going up 2-0. Go back to the Photoshop. Bam, bam. Next up is Sexy Boy versus Ulti. We're also known as Lord Trail. As we get some elite Wood Elves. Double Blade Singer, triple Waywatcher, Wild Hunters of Khorne versus Grand Cathay. Damn, son. So I'm from Czechia, can I join? You could in the next one, yeah. This tournament's already in progress, so we wouldn't have people joining now. Gonna say that game was good, my crash out was too strong. What crash out? What's happening? What's going on? I briefly mentioned the builds, but now that we're in the game, we have triple Waywatcher, double Wild Rider, one of which is Wild Hunters of Khorne, and then we have 2 Blade Singers, 3 War Dancers, and Drycha in the very far back to grind through infantry in the late game. On the side of Grand Cathay, we have Peasant Horsemen and Jade Lancers. A lot of cavalry. I suspect they were worried about getting kited out, so they didn't want to box too hard. 2 Onyx Crowmen, including the Empress Crowman, Zhao Ming with just his Dragon's Breath, and then a couple Peasant Long Spears, a couple Iron Hail Gunners, 1 Crane Gunner, and that is it. Very limited infantry corps. The Blade Singers and War Dancers are more than qualified to kill all the infantry Grand Cathay has here. The main problem is going to be that there's not that much infantry. So that is unfortunately an overinvestment in infantry killing from the Wood Elves, but, you know, you got to guess what's coming your way. We'll see what the Way Watchers can do. They'll probably have to eliminate an awful lot of cavalry to keep themselves safe. Because with only 2 Wild Riders to peel for you, you know, you can't rely on just that. First Cathay of the day. First Cathay of the day, yes, not of the tournament. Alright. Jade Lancers, Peasant Horsemen diving in, War Dancers fighting back. Anybody not seen the whole tournament? That would probably have to be Chaos Wars and Vampire Counts, I think Chaos Wars, Vampire Counts, and Nurgle are the only ones that we haven't seen literally all tourney. Everybody else has seen some play. Pitishades from Drycha tried to catch out a big cavalry blob, but the cavalry pulled away and the Blade Dancers chased them, so unfortunately that is a friendly fire Pitishades from Drycha. She mostly killed her own troops. Crane Gunners firing in now. Gonna try and kill those Way Watchers. Some of them are sometimes stalking and unstalking, so they keep canceling the Crane Gunners' attack. This Crane Gunner's not gonna like that, as the Way Watchers hit some Peasant Horsemen pretty intensely. Self-Pit Shades. We play Chaos Dwarfs next round? Okay. Discord is a very good place to get started. Oh, Human Boys Discord. I thought you were telling me Discord's a very good place to get started. I was like, what the... Bro, I know! I own the Discord, I know! Rocket. Alright. The Blade Singers and War Dancers are reforming. It looks like they probably want to charge the Grand Cathay lines, as these Crane Gunners are just getting out free value while the Way Watchers try and move in. The Way Watchers are in range now, and I think one volley from all 3 of them firing at the Crane Gunners could get decent damage, maybe even kill them outright. They do have silver shields, but their low HP pools should be a big problem for the Crane Gunners now that the Way Watchers are in range. Looks like Grand Cathay's patience has been rewarded, though. Now their cavalry are moving in on the back line with a full surround. Wild Riders stopping some over here. More Wild Riders stopping some over here. But as we said at the start of the game, there's only 2 Wild Riders to stop, like, 8 or 9 mobility elements, and that's just too many. Way Watchers, really good smoke bomb timing. It's just not going to be enough. There's so many cav coming in. There's Onyx Crowman, too. Drycha uses her summon to hold off some peasant horsemen. But finally, Jade Lancers, finally Peasant Horsemen make it through. Another Pit of Shades from Drycha. This time, the cavalry try and dodge forward. The Pit of Shades is going to catch some of them. Might be undercast, though, because it doesn't look like it's doing that much damage. And a lot of the models just walked out. Pit of Shades can lock infantry in place with its little vortex, but cavalry have enough mass to just push out of it. All three Way Watchers getting shut down. Zhao Ming even diving in to provide that extra terror. On the front line, the War Dancers and Blade Singers took a lot of damage from the cavalry charging at the start, the Pit of Shades friendly fire, Zhao Ming's breath attacks, and now Crane Gunners and Iron Hail Gunners shooting them. So the War Dancers just didn't get a fair fight versus infantry, and they got beat up pretty bad. Way Watchers all routing. Army loss is probably going to hit soon, since just the disparity between how much of each army is left is going to trigger. The Way Watchers are terror routing. Usually that counts against them on the balance of power. It looks like a natural route might be what it takes to actually trigger army losses. So once that white flag appears, the whole army will just quit. Wait for the white flag on the Way Watchers. That'll signal the whole army breaking. There it is. Hey, everybody broke. Damn. Really good execution for the Grand Cathay player. Really like the patience with the horsemen, the good surround, all that stuff. Lord Drael's build was a little wild. It was just a bit asynergistic, like having the triple kite, but then such an investment in winning the frontline fight versus Grand Cathay, and it's like, oh, this whole build is weak to cavalry, which is a bit rough. Because normally, if you're going to go with triple Way Watchers, you need to secure a pretty solid mobility advantage for yourself. So then you can kill anything Cathay has ranged, and if their cavalry tries to come out and stop you from doing that, your superior cavalry kills them. But in this situation, the Cathay had the superior cavalry, so when they saw you were out shooting them, which you were, 3 Way Watchers were easily out shooting what Cathay brought. Cathay just went, oh, all right, rush them. And they rushed him and killed him. Okay. I'm being pinged about a thing, so I'm looking at it. Ah. Alright, alright, alright. Alright, alright, okay, alright. What is that? Is that Mexico 3-0? That is a Mexico 3-0. Bam. I did say these guys are my tournament favorite. Mexican team is very, very strong. Sexy Boy gets a win. And now we'll have the Gentle Rat versus Kukinko. Gotta go find it. There it is. Ogres versus the Warriors of Chaos. No dwarves, even when the dwarves aren't banned. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. For the ogres, we have 2 lead belchers, piggyback riders, and nobblers for a front line. 3 blood vultures, triple crusher, no, double crusher, and then the ample peak graybacks. These guys with their gray supremacy for a terror causing unit nearby. Then we have a slaughtermaster with great mob with just troll guts. Cool. The other side for the Warriors of Chaos, a couple marauders, blood beasts of Khorne, rot knights, throwing axes, and Archaon with just burning head and fight or die. As the army's position, looks like the Warriors of Chaos trying to get a flank off. The ogres are just going to take the points. I will ×2 fast forward as they just do some jockeying for position. No reason to watch that at ×1 speed. Lead Belcher is going to shoot at marauders for free for a second. And the ogres just need to keep rotating as the Warriors of Chaos try and flank them. Just don't present that flank, you'll be okay. They took the conquest point, they're more than happy to keep it nice and slow. They're like, all right, you come to us. We'll hold here. Now Archaon's forces are thinking about advancing. You have some marauders on the flank. The Light Belch is just going to turn and probably try and get any free shots they can. These ones are going to shoot at the marauders in the distance, and these ones are going to fire at Rot Knights. If they could fire at the Rot Knights right now while they're all clumped up, that would be rather nice, but it doesn't look like they're able to quite get that shot off, so instead they shoot at the Blood Beasts of Khorne. Kind of like the Ushapti before, Monstrous Infantry aren't the greatest target for Lead Belchers. But with this type of build, you're not expecting a long, grindy game, so it's not like the Lead Belchers are going to run out of ammo, but yeah, side shots down this cavalry would be way more effective. Huh, surprisingly not as much damage as I thought. Okay. Lead Belcher is going to stop shooting at the Marauders. They just don't even consider the Marauders worth their time at this point, so now both Lead Belcher is going to focus on the Blood Beasts, who are still, like, the Warriors of Chaos is still trying to circle around and get behind these Piggyback Riders and Noblars. And to be fair to them, the Ogres stopped rotating, so now some of these Noblars are going to be out of position here. Yeah. Side shots from the Lead Belchers down the line of the Blood Beasts. And Rot Knights. Noblars and Blood Belchers should be able to clean up those Marauders. So it looks like the Ogres aren't even going to commit more resources to that. Other Noblars are crossing across the formation to get the shorter way in rather than having to rotate all the way around like everybody else. Still, the Warriors of Chaos not able to get too much. Now they're finally taking the charge. They are stacking up on each other a bit much. So they will have issues of getting in each other's ways, but they are trying to get on top of the Crushers. Really good damage to start out, but now they're starting to fall back as the Lead Belchers are firing uphill into a big old pileup. Having some issues shooting over their own troops, though, because since it is uphill, your own guys are between you and them as they try and go up. But once they get far enough away like this, now you have free and clear access. Both Marauders are pushed away by the Blood Vultures on the far side, so that's not really a flanking threat. And still the Lead Belchers are firing happily. The Ogres sitting on the point, so they are chilling, getting value. Blood Vulture's going to run off after Marauder Horseman throwing axes, just distract him for a bit. Second charge in of the Warriors of Chaos. Rot Knights regenerating up slowly, have Archaon at their back, but the Crushers are ready to meet them on top of Piggyback Riders, on top of Noblars as well. In comes a Troll Guts, probably to save these Crushers. Yes, it is, just to keep them alive. Nice Burning Head down the line from the Warriors of Chaos, trying to get rid of the support, leave the Crushers all alone versus a bunch of anti-large armor-piercing Cav. But that Cav is starting to fall back already as the Yetis are in. The Yetis provide that slow aura. The Blood Beasts of Khorne over here have 32 speed. They'll have a hard time getting away from the Crushers, so now it looks like they're stuck in this fight. Lead Belcher's going to take out any skirmish Cav offering support, and the Ogres are very happy with how this melee engagement is going as they have Piggyback Riders, Noblars, and Blood Vultures just chewing up these Blood Beasts of Khorne. And one Crusher, one of the two, even with the Overcast Troll Guts, is still going to get terror out. It's still going to get murked by the Warriors of Chaos, but the Ogre's just taking a good trade overall. Still more Crushers diving in. Lead Belcher's still firing over the top. How much value have you even gotten? 1,400. Pretty good. Another one, 1,100. Pretty good. Still shooting. Blood Beast's going to rout. If they rout, that means the Blood Vultures can chase them off the maps. They won't be coming back. Rot Knight's terror routing for now, but they will turn around to get a nice downhill charge onto the Yetis. The Yetis could actually take a lot of damage in this engagement. Yep, they're getting churned up. They're having a bad time. Archaon pops Fight or Die to keep everybody in it, but there's still a full health Crusher, and these Rot Knights aren't feeling too good. Still have another Crusher that's coming back to the fight after receiving a heal. And that is a bit of a toughie. Burning Head down the line, gonna try and get rid of the Noblars and the Piggyback Riders. The Yetis take the leadership debuff. It's not enough to actually rout them, though. Yetis and Crushers continue fighting. The second Crusher has rejoined the fight. Warriors of Chaos are very behind on the balance of power, and I would definitely agree. No contest there as the Rot Knights just get run down by Crushers and the Yetis. It's too much for them. They can't hold on as one Rot Knight's routing. The other one's already going to rout two. Somehow clings to life. But the Crushers now have a surround onto Archaon. He's trying to wiggle his way out. He's trying to scoot them boots, and he did. But he dives back into melee combat, realizing there's like really no one left. Just wants to fight the Crushers as best he can for now. Doesn't have Slayer of Kings. Couldn't pop it for extra damage even if he wanted to. And you just overcast something, but never mind. GG. Ogre Kingdom's just sitting there punching tickets. Yeah, they took the center point and they were like, alright, We're good. We're vibing. Lead Belcher's got good value. Crusher's got good value. Blood Vultures didn't have to do much, and the Yetis did okay. Warriors of Chaos don't have good answers to Crushers. It is true. Ogre Kingdoms are very, very, very strong. Blood Beasts struggled. Rot Knights did okay. On paper, Juggernaut are supposed to be the same type of unit as Crushers, but they just are not. GG, I have more pings. Why? Who dares ping me? Okay. So where are we at? That would be Mexico 4-0, right? Sorry, people are messaging me about things and I get distracted. Okay, so that must be the Gentle Rat. So we have Butcherbird versus the Verco for the last game here. That would be Mexico 4-0. Bam! I do have to exit to get the Total Tavern map pack. Quickly. Mod manager, activate, hit play, yes, play. Wesley DeCroc with 5 memberships. Thanks so much, sir. We're on a schedule, human boy. What'd we do? What'd I do? Thanks for the 5 memberships, sir. Everybody's... Now, this might just me being ignorant, but everybody's gifting memberships. I haven't gotten, like, a super chat in a long time where someone just gives, like, the thing where it used to pop up where it's like, I gave $3 and I now say this thing. Is that, like, not a thing anymore? Holy shit, it's Dwarves and they have the Thunder Barge. Anyway. I'm just curious if, like, YouTube replaced that with memberships or if memberships are just more worth it. It's all the same to me. So I'm not trying to criticize. Been your breakfast show for a while now, so here's a thank you. The thank you is appreciated. And the puppy came in because she heard something gave money and she's like, I like money. Please give me your money. I want money now. Gifting memberships is more better. Good. Good. Alright, I'll believe that. So for the Dwarves, we have our first Thunder Barge. I was curious if we'd get it, because it is allowed on Domination. I asked Turin for his unit caps, and Turin does not ban the Thunder Barge, so we just do that. Alrighty, for the starting builds of Butcherbird, we have 4 Chaos Furies of Khorne, the Skull Cannon, Hellforge Bellowers, then Marauders, Bloodwake Berserkers, more Marauders, and Skull Taker, interestingly enough. Skull Taker on foot with his buffs. Okay. On the other side for the Dwarves, we have the Thunder Barge, then we have the Grim Delvers, Thunderers, then a bunch of Miners with Blasting Charges, Miners Regular, and Thoric Ironbrow. Looks like the Dwarves are going to want to keep the Thunder Barge near the Grim Delvers for the start, so that the Grim Delvers can delete any Chaos Furies that try and contest it. Keep the Thunder Barge safe. Thunder Barge, if you overextend, you're going to regret it. Chaos Furies will trade up into you. I don't think one Chaos Fury will kill the Thunder Barge, but they'll trade up for sure, as those little shotgunners are trying to keep it safe. Skull Cannon continues to fire away. Khorne's gonna triple cap. The Dwarves are very slow to advance. They kind of need to do a big old build-up and then have one armored slow push that just can't be stopped by mortal man. Rune of Slowness on the Chaos Furies who are retreating might lead to their downfall. We are now getting Gargrim Iron Fist. So it looks like the Dwarves are actually going to build up a bit of a Hero Hammer to throw at a point and just leave it there. The Thunder Barge continues to shoot. Thunder Barge just got 750 value on one hit. Oh, did it fire at the Hellforged Bellower? Yeah, that seems like it. Khorne is spawning more infantry. Skull Reapers, Bloodletters of Khorne are coming up soon. But I do worry that if we get to a late game where the Thunder Barge is still uncontested, it can kill infinite amounts of infantry. As more Furies are going to try and dive it. The Grimdelvers really need to be doing a bit of air support. Now, Thunder Barge is capable of defending itself, but like I said, it trades down if it has to defend itself against Furies. And more Furies are coming up, so the Grimdelvers need to help out. Now they're starting to. They're getting good shots down the side of the Furies. This is exactly the combo you want. So now the Thunder Barge is kept safe, but the Grimdelver is going to take a little bit of damage. The Skull Cannon fires into them. Getting some Iron Drakes too, so a little bit more range support to make sure the Thunder Barge can stay online in the air. And you pay like 3,000 something gold for the Thunder Barge. So it's not... I'm talking about it a lot, but it's also a big part of your army. So if you took it, you need to defend it. As the Grimdelvers get hit with another shot from the Hellforged Bellowers. Bloodwake Berserkers moving in now. Grimdelvers are trying to get some damage out on them, but it's not really working out. Blasting charges also thrown at the Bloodwake Berserkers, but their low model count and high armor keeps them nice and safe. Thunder Barge still firing away. Poking down at the Marauders of Khorne. Chaos Fury is going to dive the Iron Drakes and the Dwarf Warriors. Sitting in some of the Skull Cannon's fires, though, doing a lot of damage to these Chaos Furies. And the Grimdelvers are busy. They can't help the Thunder Barge this time, so it's going to take the full Chaos Fury charge. And look at them. Yeah, just racking up value. Again, the Thunder Barge might kill them, but they're trading up constantly, which is great for Butcherbird. Not as great for Deverko. As this thing tries to path back towards its own units, more Furies are coming up behind it. It really needs range support from somewhere. It looks like we got more Grudge Rakers, but those are not regular Thunderers. Their range is shorter, so it's going to take them quite a while to get in range of helping out against these Furies. We also have Marauders sprinting straight at them, so Butcherbird doing a great job screening out the Dwarves, making sure that they can't defend the Thunder Barge. We can't keep it online. Iron Drake's now going to offer support, though. That burnt leadership debuff is huge versus the Chaos Furies. Not as much damage, but it is getting them closer and closer to that demonic instability, but the Thunder Barge itself might die before that even matters. Yeah. Damage value is pretty similar, but the Dwarves are falling a little bit behind. Khorne also has a triple cap, so you would want to be ahead on damage value if you're sacrificing that much battlefield presence. Another Fury, demonic instability crumbles away from the Thunder Barge, but Thunder Barge down to 2,000 HP and falling. Still, those Furies are on their ass, and Gargrim is slapping the Bloodwake Berserkers right now. I guess the Thunder Barge is too, because Gargrim doesn't have that much value. Thunder Barge got 2,400 value even while being harassed by Furies literally all game. Iron Drake's going to peel off another Fury as the Thunder Barge tries to stay alive. Butcherbird summoned yet another Fury, just constantly summoning Furies to keep the Thunder Barge back. And these basic Marauders down here of Khorne keeping the Thunderers at bay. Really saving Khorne's ass as the Thunder Barge is going to go down. There she be. She explodes, mateys. Butcherbird takes a 2,000 gold value lead. More miners are getting summoned out, but Khorne has Skull Reapers back on the points. They have a triple cap. They have more Bloodletters coming up, so the Dowie infantry push is going to be really hard to pull off. They're stuck in their spawn. I think they could eventually fight their way out, maybe, possibly, but it's going to be too hard. They've lost too much momentum. Thunder Barge needed a bit more peel. From those Chaos Furies, I would have liked to see some Quarrelers summoned, maybe some regular Thunderers, maybe not the shotgun variant. As the shotgun variant, we're trying to do that all game, but they just had a hard time really managing as Butcherbird just threw random Marauders at them or something. So I think the higher range of the Quarrelers and the regular Thunderers could have been a little bit more reliable than like the super cool combo, you know, of the Grimdelvers or the other Grudge Rakers just getting their thing out. Skull Cannon fires its final shot as a summon of Trollhammer Torpedoes is going to try and take it out. Butcherbird's already at about 850 tickets. Skulltaker is trying to chase down Thoric. He is on foot, meaning he won't knock Thoric around or anything. He should just get hit after hit. And now he's surrounded. Bloody Onslaught popped onto Thoric. Minus 24 melee defense, minus 30 armor. Skulltaker's just chasing him down. Super cool animations. Hey, swing. I talked about your animations. Bam. Taking a bit of damage himself, Bloodletters rear charge in with the buffs from the Skulltaker. Should be able to kill these miners, should be able to kill Dwarf Warriors, and then Thoric will also die, which is a pretty huge boon for Khorne. Meanwhile, Thunderers peeling for the Iron Drakes, who retreat a bit. Skull Cannon still alive, regenerating up off of the Dwarves. Skull Taker, capable of killing Thoric. Will he? Yes. No. Yes, he will eventually. And I think this is dire straits for the Dwarves. They're down about 2,500 damage value. Chaos Fury's Demonic Instability Crumbling doesn't count for them, so I guess they're a little less behind than it would seem, but it just seems pretty rough. Sword of Khorne down onto 2 Dwarven units, held at bay by Bloodletters. Little bit of friendly fire, but mostly accurate hits onto the Dwarves. Sword of Khorne also doesn't count for damage value, so you didn't see a spike there for the Dwarves. Skull Cannon. Oh! A really good shot onto the Troll Hammers, then it's immediately going to go charge them, stop them from shooting at it as they're trying to reform lines, trying to get a shot off onto the Hellforged Bellers, but it's just not going to happen. Now they'll be disrupted, get regened off of, and get more ammunition back. Thoric escapes off the map. He did not die, so no big leadership spike for the Dwarves, but still a leadership spike. As Gargrim is stuck fighting against Skull Reapers. If the Skull Reapers turn and fight him, that would actually be terrible. They have really good stats, they just don't have high armor piercing, but that doesn't matter versus a Slayer. Skargrim will probably get killed off. Damage value increases for Butcherbird as he gets further and further ahead. And Khorne still has a triple cap, and it's going nowhere. Dwarves would definitely need a triple cap to turn this around at this point. A single cap, I mean, yeah, even a double, obviously, wouldn't be able to do it. Skull Reaper's going to surround Gargrim. Beat him up. Power fist that dwarf. Look at him just get bursted down. 200 health left, not a lot. Skull Taker could even find him. And the Hellforged Bellers get another shot onto the Iron Drakes. Oof. 4,000 damage value lead. And that is GG. GG for Khorne. So before you depart, thinking the stream is over, there are still 2 more matchups we're going to do. We are going to transfer you from stream to stream. Keep moving things forward. Okay, I just got a message, so I had to check that quick. Valiant fight from Czechia despite the 5-0. Yeah. Mexico is a tournament favorite, and I think they've shown why. They're just very, very solid players who don't really fuck around too much. They're just winners. At this point, I'm going to fast forward just because there is literally no mathematical way the Dwarves can win. So, it's over. France stream? Yeah, France is up next. Let me check. Skull Taker actually did pretty well. Bloodrig Berserkers did fine. Chaos Furies, tons of value, though they did get summoned over and over again, so it's hard to tell. But they were Khorne's main answer to the Thunderbarge, so had to do it. For Deverko, Thunderbarge still got decent value despite the fact that it was just getting constantly attacked by Furies. Just not enough range support. The minor front line was not able to hold Khorne back, and they also weren't able to supply the Thunderbarge with help. And then the Gargrim summon was pretty tough because he himself did okay, but I think it was just a little anti-synergistic. I think the start was fine. I think this is fine, but I think your immediate summons should be like Quarrelers, Rangers, maybe Dwarf Warriors, but they needed more holding on the ground to keep the Marauders away from the Thunderers that were trying to support the Thunder Barge. And instead they summoned a very expensive single entity. So he controlled very little space, and Butcherbird just threw fucking Marauders at him and ran down the Thunderers and made sure they couldn't shoot up and help out the Thunderbarge. So I think just a bit of anti-synergy in the summon order of the Dwarves. Yeah. Alright, so I'll update the scores, and then we'll get going on the next stream as well, so hang around. It'll auto-take you to the next stream. That is a 5-0 for Mexico. Good showing from the team I expect to win it all. They have to fight Russia too. Russia 2 not messing around. So our quarterfinals are almost filled out. We have 2 matchups left to do today, and that'll determine our final quarterfinals. USA 1 versus USA 2, Germany 2 versus Switzerland, Mexico versus Russia 2, and now, can we have half of the quarterfinals be USA and another USA Civil War, or will France and Canada advance? Or any mixture, but I think those would be the 2 most interesting. Is USA getting bodied twice, or USA just dominating. All 4 of our teams make it to quarterfinals. That'd be funny. So, next stream will be USA versus France, if I have my stuff correct. Let's see what's up next. Give me 1 second. Holiday for what? Martin Luther King Day here. Next up is actually USA 4 versus France, yes. So, we'll do that. Live streaming, edit, customization, redirect, take it to USA versus France. All right, see you all there in a second.